Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again where we light a lighter for another fallen coach. Shortly after the defeat, Aston Villa came out with a statement saying they'd parted ways with their head coach, the legendary Liverpool's living legend, Steven Gerrard, is no longer the Aston Villa coach, Aston Villa manager. It has always been asked, Lampard or Gerrard. Well, I guess Lampard is winning. But nonetheless, man, we did see it coming. I think the results spoke for themselves. And that was just a damaging defeat, a 3-0 defeat to Fulham, man. So this one is for Lampard. Hopefully we'll see him again. Welcome to MRM Sports. I'm your host, Ronald M. It is GW13. First of all, thank you for the new subscription. Those who have subscribed to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe and like. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, man. I'll continue dropping more footballing content. I appreciate the feedback. You guys are the debates I'm having on my DMs, man. It's so fun. Hopefully soon we'll start having them on this platform as well, man. But it is GW13. And for me as a Chelsea fan, I think I've tried to be neutral for the past few game weeks now. But then this one, I'm wearing my Chelsea hat on. It is the big game for me as a Chelsea fan. Simply because when I came to football, when I actually allowed football to be my first love, when I fully embraced football as an amazing sport it is, man. The biggest game for me was always against Manchester United as a Chelsea fan. Because I came to Chelsea when we got the Russian money, when we started spending a few pennies. For me, that's when I fully embraced Chelsea. And it was about dethroning United. I still vividly remember, that nightmare at Moscow when the club captain, forever captain, John Terry slept, man. It's always difficult saying that. When John Terry slept and missed the penalty, and United stopped us from winning the first ever European Cup, first ever UEFA Champions League trophy for Chelsea. I can still feel the pain. That night, it was a bad night for me, man. I still remember it vividly. 2008, I was still a teenager then. It was a bad day. And it further made me hate United. Okay, dislike United more. It made me dislike United more, man. But it is the biggest game for me. It is a big game. Not the biggest, but definitely it is one of those games I always look forward to, and I always want my team to win. And surprisingly, man, how the might have fallen. In the history I was talking about earlier, it has always been whoever wins this game has a clear shot at winning the Premier League, has a clear shot to progress in the Champions League, has a clear shot for the FA Cup. They are favorites for everything, basically. But then now it is the difference maker between Europa League and Champions League. It is 4th versus 5th. It is 5th attacking 4th. Whoever wins this game just cements temporarily the top 4, the hold on top 4, which is such a pity, man. Of course, there are two sleeping giants at the moment, and City are just doing City things. But then nonetheless, man, it's going to be a huge game. It's going to be a huge game at the Stamford Bridge. If you're giving me man, if I was a betting man in the beginning of the season, I would have definitely said this is going to be Tuchel versus Erik ten Hag. But then now it is Potter Party versus Erik 10G. If you watch the previous fixture, you know I call him 10G. But then, yeah, man, how football changes. My thoughts on the game. If Chelsea has to win this game, not if, when, and pass, but then Chelsea has to win this game. This is such an important match for Graham Potter, man. Simply because, okay, he has played AC Milan. That was a huge game for him in Champions League to just turn around the group, how the group looks, and us progressing to the last 16. But then this one around in the Premier League, he hasn't faced any big tests. I think Chelsea, from the big 6 teams, Chelsea have only played Spurs. We haven't played any other top 6 team. United have played just about everyone. This, I think, will be the last game against the top 6 team for the first half of the season. Man City have played Liverpool. Arsenal have played what? Played Spurs, have played Liverpool, have played United. Spurs have played us, have played United, have played Arsenal. So for us, this is such a huge game. Graham Potter has to try and get a positive result. I would love a win, because we haven't beaten United in 2-3 seasons. I think, 3 seasons in the Premier League? Yeah, man. When last did you beat United? Yo, it's been a while. In the Premier League, I know we defeated them in the FA Cup when Lampard was still there. But then in the Premier League, it's been a while since we last won a match. I think the last time we won must have been Conte. Yeah, I mean, I think it was Conte. Was it? Was it? I last remember the what? The 4-0 win at the Stamford Bridge. I'm not sure anymore, but then I think it was Conte. Because I remember under Sarri, there was that famous tool to when Sarri Kairen passed Mourinho. Yeah, I mean, I think when was it? Let me just run through. It must have been under Conte. It's been a while since we last defeated Man United, man. So that needs to change. And what a time for Graham Potter to get that result. I mean, United are buzzing. United are on form. United are the team that just won up the floor with Spurs. It should be a perfect time for Potter to spoil the party and implement the Potter party on United at Stamford Bridge to a perfect way to spend the Saturday, man. But then, yeah, I mean, looking at our team, I think we are light. It's no longer I think we are light, especially in the midfield. And defensively, yeah, we can be sound. I mean, Kepa is having the best time of his life. He's having the form of his life at the moment. But then we are light in the midfield, definitely. I think us missing N'Golo Kante, man, is a huge problem for us. We don't have that player who's defensive-minded in that position. I mean, United have Casemiro in that place, have Scott, even though he's limited, they have Scott in that place. Those players who can be defensive-minded. In Chelsea, I think we're lacking that. I haven't seen the guy from Juventus, I forgot his name, the Loney from Juventus. I doubt he'll start in such a huge game, man. I doubt it, without playing any ball under Potter. I doubt he'll start in such a huge game. But then, yeah, we are lacking. So it'll be interesting to see how Potter structures his midfield. Attack-wise, I expect Oba to start this game. I expect Sterling and I expect Mount to start this game. I think Mount is on form. He is the player on form. We need to start him. You can start your Havertz or you put it. They can be impact players from the bench. Unless if we pick an unexpected injury before the game, then maybe your Havertz might get a look into the team. But then in the mid, now that I'm thinking about it, I think he might go J5, Kovacic, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think that's the only logical thing to do. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to go to a back 4 or we go with a back 3. For me, I think we have to play a back 3 simply because Thiago, if Thiago is fit, he has to come to this game. He's our best defender. And I expect Koulibaly to play and maybe even play Cucurella to form that part of that back 3. And then you can play maybe Aspleta and your Chilwell as wing backs. I think we can always, that way you can always shift it to a back 4 with Aspleta slotting in as the right back, and then maybe your Cucurella just, we can play around with that formation if it goes with those players for me. And then if you're a United fan looking at this game, I think it's a perfect time again to play Chelsea. I think it would have been a bit complicated, okay, in terms of manager stature, if it was Tuchel for them, you know, because Tuchel always rises to the occasion in these big games. We saw against how we played against Spurs. We had a really good game against Spurs, then a follow-off against Leeds the following weekend. So for Eric Ten Hag, Eric Ten G, I think you'll be looking at this game thinking, I can get it Chelsea. It would be a perfect time for me to say, I've beat all the big 4 teams except for City, which everyone will be admiring that. I mean, already people are admiring the fact that they've defeated Klopp, Conte, Arteta. If you ask Graham Potter to that list and says, I'm a good coach, City is just City. City are the best team in the land, but all the other teams I can compete with them. That would be a perfect marker for Eric Ten Hag. And for United as well, I mean, they will literally jump us in the Premier League table to that top 4 position and continue to pile pressure on Spurs, man. And they're playing well, they're creating chances. I think the only saving grace is they won't take these chances. That's the only saving grace. They've been failing to take these chances. I mean, the past 2-3 games, they could have easily scored 20 goals. And I'm not like the chances they're creating, they could have easily got 20 goals. And with all Cristiano Ronaldo Saka, you expect that falls over a bit to the team. But then you can see, I don't think any player will be impacted by that because they fully believe it. Their belief in Ten Hag is so huge. If they're not getting the results and Ronaldo is throwing a tantrum at the moment, then you say maybe that would affect the squad a bit. But then I think even the Portuguese players right now, they must be loving life under Ten Hag for them to really focus more on picking Ronaldo's side over the coach's side. Because they're getting the results, they're playing football. I mean, they are creating chances. They are now keeping clean sheets. So why would they choose the Ronaldo side, really? Again, man, it's such a huge game. I can't wait for it. I will definitely, I'm working on getting some United supporters I know will love United through and through to do some preview and a combined 11 for this game. Definitely try and drop it tonight, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, I think we have the first virgin breakers on the show. First guys to break the show's virgin and be guests on the show, really, man. But nonetheless, I can't wait for this game. Of course, it's not the only game in Gaming 13. I'm not getting carried away with this review, but it's not the only game in Gaming 13. On Saturday, we do have Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Let me just give you a quick prediction and just preview this game. For me, I think Liverpool will just roll on. I can see them getting the third win on a row in the Premier League. I don't expect anything other than a Liverpool win, even though it's away from home. I think Nottingham Forest will catch the hands, will catch the smoke. Liverpool are gunning for a clean sheet and more points. It'll be interesting to see what Klopp does. I mean, I think Champions League is around the corner. So Klopp might definitely try to rotate the squad because it is a huge game. I think it's against Napoli in the Champions League. If they want to top the group, they have to try and win that game. So it'll be interesting to see what Liverpool does. But then even if he rotates the team, you would expect a Liverpool victory for this one. And then I think Liverpool won, 3-0. Yeah, I'll go with the 3-0 Liverpool. Then Everton host Crystal Palace, sorry. Again, Lampard has lost 3 spin now. If he doesn't want to end up like Gerrard, he has to win this game or at least get a draw. But and Crystal Palace are a good team and it suits them to be away from home. I think they'll play the game on the counter. They'll try to dominate where they can, and they got a huge victory against Wolves. The 2-1 victory against Wolves. Eze scoring goals. Wilfred Zaha scoring goals. And on Lampard's side, he did play Cavaloon against Newcastle, and it did look good in that game, I have to say. So it'll be interesting. It's a difficult one to call. I think I'll go with a score draw. Maybe a 1-0 draw, a 2-0 draw. It's difficult to pick a winner on this one. And then, of course, a wounded City are at home to Brighton. I mean, that's a tricky game for Brighton. That's a tricky, dangerous game for Brighton. What will happen in this one? I think City will just... I fear for Brighton. I think that draw away to Nottingham Forest was a huge letdown for them, because I can see them definitely being walloped in this game. I think City will be just too angry with what happened at Liverpool. I can see a 5-6-0 in this game. Even though Brighton played good football, Brighton always bring it to the against the big teams, man. I expect City to just become monsters in this game and run through Brighton. So I'll go with a 4-0 victory for City. And then, of course, the big one, Chelsea versus Manchester United. In as much as I want to say Chelsea draw, I have to respect United and what they're doing at Ten Hag. For me, I think this will be a draw again. I think those two teams know they can't afford to lose this game. Both of them can't afford to get a draw, to lose this game really, or to fall into Europa League before the World Cup, to fall into the Europa League position before the World Cup. So I'll definitely go with a score draw. I don't think it will be a 0-0 because, as I said, United seem to be creating chances, and Chelsea has a tendency of giving away chances. And if we don't go into this match defensive minded, we can get it United. We can try and poke through United. And I believe now, in as much as we're not scoring goals, we have been creating chances. And I can see us scoring goals. Definitely at home, I can see us scoring goals. So I'll go with the total draw in this game. And then the Sunday matches, we have a managerless, coachless Aston Villa versus Brentford. I think if you're Brentford, you'll be kicking yourselves why they didn't give Gerrard till weekend to actually try and salvage something. Because I would have given Brentford the opportunity to win this game. I would have said under Gerrard they would have won this game. So now I don't know how Aston Villa's players will react. Were they shocked that Gerrard was fired? Was it news breaking for them, or they expected it to happen, or they just didn't play for him? Because the way they played in that game, man, they just didn't seem interested. And of course, on top of that, Douglas Luiz was given a red card, a straight red card, so he won't be available for this game. So it's difficult to call, but I expect Brentford. I mean, against Chelsea, Brentford, Kepa was on form. He managed to keep Brentford at bay. I mean, that Ivan Toney Waiter, it was going to go in. I expected it to just see Brentford take the lead, but then they ended up getting a good draw against Chelsea. So, how does this one go? I think I'll still give it to Brentford. I think Villa have too many mistakes in them. I don't know who will be in the interim coach there. And how will he play with Douglas Luiz missing? Will you see some players being brought into the team? So I think I'll just go with the 2-1 victory for Brentford away from home. And then, of course, we have Leeds versus Fulham. I mean, a flying Fulham who got Stevie G the sack versus the Leeds who were convincingly defeated by Leicester City, man. I think Fulham are flying, and Fulham are, even though Fulham are away from home, for me, I think I'll go just with it. Let me go with the score draw. Because I don't think Leeds want to make sure they get defeated again at home. I think if they do, then March, his job is again is on the line. Because he'll be flirting with the relegation. Are they 16th or 17th in the league? I think they're 16th or 15th. They're 16th in the league. So they will be playing with fire if he loses this game. So I can see a score draw. I'll go with a 1-0 draw. And then with the local leaders, Arsenal away to Southampton. Man, it's a huge game for Arsenal. Southampton, they got a victory against Bournemouth. And like I said in my previous video, Southampton is unpredictable with them. I mean, they can just dig deep from nowhere. They can play well. They can lose heavily to any team. But then Arsenal are the machine that keeps on rolling. I mean, they're through to the next knockout stage. They won 1-0 against PSV. I think Xhaka scored the goal, yeah? So you expect Arsenal to again just maintain the 4-point gap they have on City. So I'll go with an Arsenal 3-1 victory. I think Arsenal will concede in this game, but it will be maybe a 3-1 victory for Arsenal against Southampton. And then we have the wounded Wolves versus Leicester City, man. Wolves, I think they're still managerless when they got rid of Bruno Lage. Hey, so many coaches have been fired, man. And they lost away to Crystal Palace. They lost 2-1. I mean, they scored the first goal. You expected them to. I mean, if it was Wolves of the past, you would have thought they would have just kept it compact, kept it as a pack of Wolves, and got a point or got all 3 points against Palace. But then they ended up losing that game. So definitely for me, against Leicester City, who won against Leeds, I think Leicester still up and down, never know what to get. I mean, I remember when they got a positive result and then they went to Bournemouth and lost that game. So again, never know what to expect from Leicester City. I think again I'll go with a 1-0 draw in this game. I think it's a time Costa starts returning now, because they need his goals if they're to stay in the Premier League. I can't believe Wolves. I can't believe this game after all. It is a relegation battle game. I mean, football is such a weird thing. Not so long ago, these teams were knocking on the top 6 door. Now they are about to open the door to relegation. I mean, football is just, if you stand still in football, you can go down. You can go down. We've seen this over the years. And then the last game on Sunday, it is another wounded team in Tottenham Hotspur hosting a tricky Newcastle. I mean, if Conte is not careful, he will definitely be pulled to the top 4 battle. Because I can see Spurs losing this game at home. I can see Newcastle giving Spurs a tough time. I mean, Newcastle have shown already this is that when it comes to playing the big boys, they can fight the big boys. They drew against United. They drew against City. They were so unlike against Liverpool to lose that game. So they've shown against the big boys, they can draw. They can get a positive result. And Spurs have shown against the big boys, they can crumble under pressure. So for this game, Newcastle are defensively sound. Newcastle are perfect defensive-wise. They're perfect going forward. I mean, they're so unlikely to score only 1 goal against, against Everton midweek. There's so many chances. Bruno Lage has so many, Bruno Guimaraes has so many chances to get a goal. And the midfield, if you look at it right now, the midfield can fight the midfield of Spurs, can be said to be a bit better than the midfield of Spurs. So it's difficult to call, but I think this will be a shock of the weekend. I can see Newcastle winning this game 3-1. I think Kane might get his goal, but I can see Newcastle winning this game 3-1. I definitely can see Newcastle winning this game 3-1. And then the last game of the weekend, it is Monday Night Football, man. West Ham was Bournemouth. Both teams lost their midweek games. Bournemouth had a perfect run, but I think they'll try and fight to get a positive result. Will they? You know what? I think I cannot go with the 1-0 draw. For this game, I think I've predicted so many draws in this game 13, but, 13 is never like a number anyway. But I think for me, I will go with a 1-0 draw. I think Bournemouth are too defensively solid. They're playing as a unit now for them to lose this game. I don't see it being a back-to-back defeat. And West Ham, I mean, that penalty missed by Bowen against Liverpool was just a more dampen. You could see how defeated or how annoyed and angry-ish David Moyes looked when Bowen missed the penalty. And then some chances, I mean, Liverpool do some some cold that defending. I mean, to throw bodies on the line to stop West Ham from scoring a goal. So what do we expect to see from this game, man? I think it should be 1-0 draw. I can't wait for game 13 to kick off. I can't wait for it to kick off tomorrow on Saturday. You all know the game I'm looking forward to. I've already spoken about it, man. I can't wait to see that big one. Again, it will be difficult to call. I definitely hope Chelsea wins. But then trying to be neutral, I can see United. If United win this game, I won't be surprised. But then I think Potter needs a point or a win more than Erik ten Hag does. I think it's a tough test for both coaches. Erik ten Hag, this is a difficult test for him because he's playing a Chelsea team that will love to play ball and can be defensive side. He won't be dominating as he did against Spurs, against Chelsea. I don't think he will. I don't see Graham Potter being that defensively minded coach that will say, let's just sit deep and hopefully we'll hit them in the counter. So it's still difficult to call. I can't wait to have United fans on to just hear how they think of the game. And of course, man, I will give a reaction video immediately after this game. I have to drop some content after this game because either I'll be heartbroken or up on cloud9. I can't wait to just talk to you guys about the game, man. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as I've said, and like the videos and check out more content to be dropping. See you soon, guys. Definitely soon. I'm your host, Ronald M.